What's up, y'all? I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I just saw a fantastic news piece by a local reporter who I really respect. And it just made me think of so many things that are really important for this moment right now. First, the main thing that I thought was hugely important is that, a lot of us have started to distrust the news. And I think that's a mistake, especially when it comes to local news or independent voices that you find online. With independent voices, though, be very wary because a lot of people are new media, but they're not independent media. They're still corporate backed. You'll be able to tell that, I think, pretty easily when you're on YouTube or other streaming platforms. The other thing that it does is incredibly important. It talks about a big issue with the Trump executive orders and the roundups and deportations happening. It highlights a union strike that's happening here in Colorado against a grocery store chain, and it kind of hits the price of eggs, inflation, and then also workers kind of seizing the moment when people are thinking that low wage immigrant work labor is going to be removed from the country. That is kind of an ideal time for union members to flex their power. And then third, and actually the real reason I wanted to make this video, and this is so important to me, they keep talking about crossing the picket line. And it got me thinking about the way angry neoliberals just were waiting and seething and couldn't wait to tell Muslims how dumb we were and say, I told you so, because they thought we didn't know what was in our own best interest. Now, after we watch the clip, maybe not the whole thing, just a few parts of it, I'll get back and tie everything together just for you. So, without further ado, let's get into it now.
It's day two of a strike at many of the King Superstores across the Front Range. Union workers planning a 2-week strike as they push back about what they are calling unfair labor practices. Leaders with King Supers have called those claims false. We know many of you shop on the weekend, and many of your stores are going to be impacted by this. Your reporter Michael Abeda joining us live tonight. And Michael, this might change some shopping habits for some people.
Before we get into that, just for anyone out of state, King Soopers is just Kroger's. They kind of co-opted a local name that was a local grocery when they bought their way into Colorado. They kept a few little things like a penny drive horsey, for kids to ride and stuff like that. Not too important, but just know King Soopers is essentially Kroger's.
Yeah, some people may not want to cross that picket line going on at those King Super stores, but if you're looking for a new place to shop, don't worry. Colorado has plenty of locally owned options.
It's just typical grocery store.
Hussein Abdullah owns Mecca Market in southeast Denver. It's an international market, but it doesn't mean he doesn't sell things all people would like.
Everything you need in your kitchen to make a delicious meal, whether it's your vegetables, spices, poultry, meat, pasta, bread.
He says with the strike going on at Kroger, he's ready to serve people who want fair prices but don't want to cross the picket line.
What you see in any grocery store, you find it here, and actually better.
He isn't the only one trying to capture some of Kroger's customers. So is Colorado's only employee-owned supermarket chain.
Employee owned. I didn't know that. That is so cool. I might actually start shopping there a lot more. A couple of other things that I noticed that when you guys are consuming media, I want us to really start turning our thinking caps on and notice things. Michael Abeda is the reporter. He could have easily gone to, a Latino owned supermarket. That would have been equally cool, but he's going, out of his way to just show our diversity in a normal light. He's not like, the grocery store was called Mecca, so obviously that's hearkening to Mecca, Saudi Arabia. So it's probably a halal mart. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was. I didn't look at the chicken that closely, but I think it said crescent on it, so it's probably halal meat. But it's just a normal grocery store, and that's the way it was presented. There was nothing presented about the guy's Muslim identity. That is incredibly important right now to show diverse peoples just being human beings. Back to the store, I just also thought it was incredibly cool that Save a Lot. And I think there's other chains that are all employee-owned. That's very interesting.
So we have 17 locations here in Colorado. We've got 14 Save-A-Lot locations as well as 3 other unique banners.
Lever Supermarket is based out of Castle Rock. For 25 years, they've been selling groceries in their stores across the state. COO John Kuntz says being an independent grocer lets them do things the big chains can't.
We're very agile when it comes to our product offering and assortment and are able to cater very specifically to the local needs surrounding our stores.
That means they have specialty cuts of meat, a panaderia, and a tamale bar with fresh hot tamales ready to eat. But when it comes to staples, he says they compete with the national chains. He even boasts they have reasonably priced eggs.
Oh, that's almost like a call out to get all the Trump voters to go shop
Want to
there.
have the highest quality product at the best possible prices in town.
Hussein doesn't have eggs or tamales, but he does have the international products you need to try something new on your dinner plate.
We carry everything a traditional grocery store carry, plus more.
Okay, guys. So basically, I just want to break down why I think that was such a cool piece. Again, the importance of local media, guys. Really, please support your local journalists. They're a dying breed with corporate takeovers and the consolidation of so many media companies all coming under fewer and fewer ownerships and becoming nationalized. It's really important that local journalists are fully supported, and like anytime you see a story by a local journalist in your area, take the time to write to the station, praise the story, let people know that you thought the perspective and the reporting was valuable, and that you're a viewer because of the local reporters, because that's one of the ways to fight fascism in reality, because we need truth tellers on TV who can do things like humanize people who are often otherized. The other thing is, again, this idea of crossing the picket line, and this is what made me connect these ideas of the folks strike, and the neoliberals mad at Muslims because we didn't fall in line and vote the way they wanted us to. Um, I don't know the details of the Kroger strike and what the workers are going through, but I do respect the workers enough to know that they know what's in their own best interest, that they thought through everything before they made a decision. And they said, we could get fired. We could lose this. There could be a retribution lawsuit. There could be all kinds of things. But this is the moment for us that we should demand for our rights. And out of just respect for that, I'm not going to shop there until there's a resolution. I actually rely on King Soopers a lot because that's the place I shop at the most. But I'm finding out that there are things like employee-owned alternatives. So again, I'm not going to be against King Soopers, but I am going to be pro-worker. And that's exactly where I think like a neoliberal should actually learn a lesson here. You should be thinking about, we didn't appeal to the people that we needed to. The fault is ours, especially if you're a DNC loyalist or operative or someone in the decision-making process with the Democrats. I want to finish the video here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And again, thank you so much for your support on the channel. God bless.
Issa. Okay. Issa? Yes. Issa Galloway.
Issa Galloway defines the mission.
Kind of a show that will put people on the edge of their seat.
Because it leads to the future and a more sophisticated approach.